Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Limbo. And this is from writer-director Ben Sharrock, and this is a Scottish film focusing on the lives of a group of refugees who are seeking asylum in Scotland, focusing primarily on this young man named Omar, played by Amir El-Masry. And you get a this film is very interesting. You have Sharrock, who feels very much like a Wes Anderson type of filmmaker, focusing on these very symmetric, very smooth camera movements, very specific framing, and everything is symmetrical and down to the very detail planned out very specifically. And you see this from the very opening scene, which there's no context here. We open up, there's this woman and there's this man. They're putting on music and they're dancing. And the camera plays perfectly symmetrical. They're right in the center there. They each have their interesting moves, especially this guy. And then we have reaction shots. And this man and woman are these two awkward white people, and then the reaction shot is a diverse group of immigrants who are sitting there watching this going on, and a range of and you have faces like that, you have faces like, or going along with the music, and this whole range of these different perfectly acted reaction shots from this whole entire group of men here. It's absolutely hilarious. It's so quirky and weird, and it just sets that tone. The interesting thing is, though, this film gets dark and intense and serious and very dramatic. There's a bit of some tonal issues in the film, and I feel like that's probably the biggest thing that I would take away from this film. But in terms of how this is set up, how it's visualized, along with the cinematography from our DP in this film, specifically Nick Cook, and between him and Sharrock, there's a very specific kind of filmmaking here. It's a vision, and it's so fully realized. Even if some of the tonal issues, like the opening scene, I thought was absolutely hilarious. I was laughing and enjoying it. And then it wound up feeling a little bit out of place as this film went along, in terms of it's quirky and awkward and fun. There's Farhad, who is played by Vikesh Bey, who brings a rooster into the equation. They have this chicken in their house that they're living in, and has these awkward, silly moments and fun moments as comic relief throughout the film. But you have so much of this film focusing on these men building connections with each other, having these moments, thinking about their dreams of becoming citizens and getting away from the atrocities they've been through. You have the government coming after some of them because they're not here to stay. And you have all of them waiting outside a phone booth specifically so that they could call their family. And these calls, especially for Omar, get progressively more dramatic and heavy, and how the camera is this beautiful close-up in one of the later phone calls with his mother as they start singing a song together. And you have our main actor, El-Masry, who just captures this emotion of Omar. And it's so beautiful in the way that the camera is able to portray that with this great close-up shot as he's acting against this phone. And the camera has these very smooth panning shots of just the scenery, and on a nice day, it's a beautiful looking walk through the Highlands, and on a snowy, darkened day of winter, this is desolate. It is devoid of hope. It looks perilous, and the scenery throughout these seasons has worked so perfectly well together to be able to portray the place that Omar is in terms of his own story. This film, the cinematography is great, the score is moving and affecting, and especially because it layers in the fact that Omar is a musician and really wants to be able to play his music for his family. And you finally get this really cathartic moment towards the end of the film, but you have the score from Hutch Dumolpade, which is moving and impactful. And throughout this film, this is so very specific in the way that things are portrayed in this film. And the characters have their moments to shine and make these connections, and we really care about them as they navigate these strange situations. They navigate the prejudice of others as they are seeking asylum. They're foreigners coming into this land, and these small town hickish kind of Scots might not be dealing with things in the most amicable way. And you have moments where you get to see that in this film. But I think Sharrock does such an amazing job of capturing the trials and the tribulations of this group, specifically of Omar's character, who is really our anchor throughout the film, and what he goes through seeking his asylum and trying to be him again in a different place. And this film really is a fun and interesting and well crafted, impeccably crafted, and moving and cathartic experience. And I feel like Limbo is going to be one of those films that's going to fly under the radar, but I hope a lot of people get a chance to go check it out, because I think this is a timely and impactful and emotional journey to take with somebody who's trying to find a new life in a new land, and it's done in a quirky yet very moving and relatable way. So Limbo is definitely one to check out. But those are my thoughts on Limbo. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.